up, Outer Banks? I'm Sue Artz with OBXentertainment.com and OBXE TV. We're here with an all-new episode this week featuring our special guest, who's the director at the Children of Play Museum, Ms. Carole Dawn Emerson. So hey Carole Dawn, thanks for being here today.
Well, thanks for having me.
So what is Children at Play Museum and why is it so great for kids here on the Outer Banks?
Well, the Outer Banks Children at Play Museum is a small, non-profit STEAM museum. And STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, Mathematics. So we are a museum for children. It's best really about a year through 12 years old. And we'll never compete with anything that's already established, like the aquarium or any of the other museums around here. But what we do is something very special and specific. We really want to get children involved in the sciences, physics, chemistry, earth science, and also engineering and mathematics. All the things that are being taken away in school, things that kids really don't have the time to get dirty, to get their hands in it. Mm-hmm. That's when concepts really mean something to children. Children learn best by doing. They learn best by getting in there and exploring and by trial and error. So what people look at as mistakes or failing, we look at it as the scientific method. You think something, you get in there and try it, and either it works or it doesn't work. And that's just another step to being successful. It's not a failure. It's just trying something, learning from it, and then trying again until you eventually learn how to get to what you're wanting to do successfully. So it's a whole different concept. And we're unique because we don't want you to be behind something in plexiglass and you turn a knob and the ball goes up and then it drops.
Yeah.
We want it to be all hands-on, and we want parents or grandparents or aunts, uncles, the adult, to be right in there getting dirty and getting hands-on with the kids. So it's really about being interactive. It's really about putting down your cell phone, putting down your technology, and making memories together. So the Children at Play Museum is really about giving opportunities for adults and children to learn together, to learn and grow together through hands-on interactive exhibits.
Nice. That's an awesome idea. So how did you get involved with Children at Play?
The original founder and owner was Alyssa Hannon, and she got this idea when she had her boys and was talking with other parents around the Outer Banks and really realizing that there wasn't a real space for younger children to get together during the winter months. Lots to do when the weather's nice, but not so much.
Right.
There's the Y and the aquarium and lots of neat things to do, but not really so much that area for that free play, that unstructured play where kids could learn. And so she started with boxes. A group of people came together and they traveled to auditoriums, to any place they could go, really driveways with these boxes. And they incorporated in December of 2009. Then they were able to get a space across the street where we were. But then Sandy came along.
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
And they lost every exhibit. So everything they had built for when Sandy came, they lost absolutely everything. Waters came up and they sat so long in there. Board members were in there with buckets, pails, bailing, and they could not save a single thing.
Right.
So as far as we had grown, we lost everything. And really, the whole organization could have gone under. They could have given up, but the community came together and refused to let Children at Play die. The community, places like Surf Pediatrics, came in and gave a ton of money to make sure that we could rebuild. And for a while, I think people looked at us as kind of like a play place because we were just taking whatever donations we could get to stay above water. But out of some of the worst things, some of the best things happened. We were able to move to a bigger space, higher ground, which is great. Now we're, at 3810 North Croatan Highway. So right across the street from Stackham High in Kitty Hawk, and right next door to Captain Frank's. So we look like a lighthouse. And we have 2 stories. Surf Pediatrics helped us with that, so the older kids can go upstairs with the Legos and the laser pegs and marble runs and things like that. And we just got a grant from the North Banks Rotary to help us with our STEAM program for the older kids. So we're really excited about that. And we just got a grant from the Community Foundation that's going to let us do our website and social marketing. But with that, we are really excited that we have a lot of artists, young artists, and we want to be able to put what they make online so they can sell it.
Nice.
And be able to put the money aside, a third for them into bank accounts for them. So we're going to work with a local bank to do that. And so a third goes aside for their college, a third goes aside that they can contribute to something they care about in the community, the SPCA or food bank or whatever, and then a third is for them to spend so they can start learning about how to save money, spend money, and make a difference in their community. So that grant through the Community Foundation is going to help, and also we'll have a page for families that have children with special needs, so that they can do social stories, like they can download social stories like how to go to the grocery store, how to go to the museum, so they can have those picture cue cards. And we do things like sensory sensitive Santa, where we close down the museum, turn off the lights, turn off the music, but they can come meet Santa in a place that's very successful for them without all the noise or having to wait in line to see Santa. In fact, a lot of the parents were like, this is the first time we ever got a picture with Santa.
Aw.
You know, in their 12-year lives.
Right. Well, Santa, he's kind of a scary guy. I know, like, our youngest, the first couple times he met Santa, it was just like, he's sitting outside, he's like, ah. So,
and it can be, but there are things that can be done to make those family memories.
Right.
And again, we're all about the family, however that's configured, because we know that families are very different nowadays than they traditionally were.
Right.
And it doesn't always look the same, but we honor family however that is, you know, for different families. But, you know, through that grant, there's going to be a lot of things we can do for educating and reaching out into the public. And we know that social media is a way, you know, like this.
Yeah.
But it's really how a lot of people get their information now.
Exactly.
And in our growth, we really want to be able to reach people after they leave the museum. Because a lot of people are tourists, and they follow us afterwards. We have a Pinterest.
Nice.
You know, so people can do things at home, continue learning and growing after they leave the museum.
Yeah.
And we also want to thank our local businesses. You know, we just had our gala, which was, you know, Stripers did an amazing job for us. Amy Hilliker did a magnificent job for us, decorating the pavilion at Pirates Cove. All these folks did amazing things for us to make this possible, and Surf Pediatrics was our title sponsor. And they just made this wonderful place that they could come together and we could all celebrate, you know, getting past, you know, losing everything, and now we have all these new exhibits. We're looking, you know, to grow. We want an outdoor space.
Yeah, that would be great.
Badly for some environmental education. But, you know, talking about how the community has come together and saved us and helped us grow, I think there is this huge need that people want to disconnect a little bit from that constant, and I'm just as guilty as anybody. You know, the email comes in or the text comes in or something has to be dealt with, and we're all very on demand now. But when people come into the Children's Museum, it's really neat to see people disconnect.
Yeah.
And build with the Lincoln Logs again. And talk about the difference between flat shapes and three-dimensional shapes.
Yeah.
And to see kids get it. Because it's one thing to learn about it in a book or whatever, but it's another when you see it click.
Yeah.
You know, and then you see the parents going, I'm successful, you know, the kids are talking with me and we're having fun, and it's away from the daily grind. Having to get in the car and we got to be here and we got to be there and we got to do this. You see for a couple of hours all the stresses of life, and you see the magic of play happen. And people think of play as this waste of time, and it's really not. It's very important work. It's where the learning happens for children.
Right, it does.
It's problem solving, it's vocabulary, it's math, it's science, it's engineering, it's all the stuff that we did growing up. That made us good at solving problems. And communicating with each other and working things out and thinking many steps ahead. And think about board games. You know, we used to do that, and that was problem solving and math and counting and thinking multiple steps ahead, how you're going to win the game. And we don't really get those opportunities now. But in Children at Play, we're not a big city museum.
Right.
But there's some amazing magic that happens there.
There is. I know our Ozzy, he's almost 8 now, and he was just like, I love this place. Like, because
That makes me
my
so happy.
mother-in-law, like, she bought like a year membership or whatever, and so whenever they're in town and we're working, she'll take him over there. But he loved it, and there's just so many things. And this last time, it was fascinating because he was just going through. He had the fake money you had in the register for the grocery store and all that, and of course he took it to a new level, and he's throwing it off the boat, saying, here's money for the people. And it's just so funny to see him just enjoy everything. And then the beach ball on the air thing, some other kid like took his hat off his head and was like, let's see, what other things we can get to float in the air. And
But that's the science.
yeah.
That's the imagination. That's where the cure for cancer is going to come. And that's what we want people to understand. It's that imagination that leads to the cure for cancer.
Exactly.
It's that opportunity to dream, to think outside the box, to take the materials and say, what else can we do with it?
Yeah.
As we get older, we're taught our social conformities. But being able to use your imagination, if we can teach them how to do that and give them that opportunity and that space with the learning materials.
Right.
But to think that way, and it's really neat to watch them take care of the place, to watch them clean it up.
Oh yeah,
to watch
I
them
was there,
help
and
each
I
other.
I was amazed. You're like, okay, everybody pick one thing up, and they just scattered. And
But that's taking pride in themselves and in the materials, and them learning, it's cool to take care of yourself because I want it to be here next time. So it is that social responsibility. It is that pride in self. They can't know how to have others respect them
right.
if they're not taught to respect other things. So there's so much that happens there
Yeah.
that I don't think people really understand. And there's still a lot of people that don't know we're there or what we do.
Yeah.
People don't know that we're a safe place, that when there's reunification happening, like if a child's been taken away, we're a safe place for those visits. I don't think people know that PNC Bank has given us a grant that we're open for free on Sundays from 1 to 4.
Okay.
So people in the community, regardless of their ability to pay, 'cause,
Right.
January, February, March, that's rough out
it's
here for
hard.
us.
It's definitely hard.
So you can come regardless of your ability to pay.
Oh, nice.
From 1 to 4 on Sundays, and PNC Bank has made that commitment
nice.
to children at
And
play
that's
and
just
to the
from,
Outer
like,
Banks.
January to.
No, they have done that. That was September, October, November,
Oh,
December,
wow.
January, February, March, April, and May.
That's great.
So they have paid for our staffing, for us to be open. We do a STEAM class every Sunday at 2 o'clock. So PNC has invested pretty heavily into the community and to children at play to make sure that every family on the Outer Banks has an opportunity to come and learn through play, regardless.
Nice.
So it's just a free program.
Nice.
It's
And then,
extremely important. It's been very popular.
Thursdays you have science, right? Because
Thursday
I know
at
we
4 o'clock.
homeschool, and there's a huge homeschool community out, right here. And I know a lot of parents, sometimes they want to give themselves a break from being the teacher.
We do. At 4 o'clock on Thursdays, we do a STEAM class. So it's either science, technology, engineering, art, or mathematics. And we've done everything from building freestanding structures with PVC pipe
Nice.
to creating our own goop by doing chemical reactions where they are actually mixing the ingredients. When it was so darn cold, we had the goggles and actual hammers and things for them to do ice excavation. So they were archaeologists, and we
Nice.
use the actual vocabulary. And the goal is not, and we do this from 2-year-olds to 12-year-olds, and we do what's called a stacked curriculum. For the 2-year-olds, it may just be a matter of getting your fine motor skills and hand-eye coordination.
Right.
But for the 12-year-olds, we're actually talking about archaeology, we're talking about excavation, we're talking about how the chemical reactions and the temperatures and what happens. We're talking about different kinds of fields of science. We're talking about different jobs. So in the core curriculum, different kind of jobs, getting them college and career ready. We work all that into there. So we really just want to be something that's helping the schools,
Yeah.
that we kind of know what's going on and what's being taught, so we
Right.
kind of help reinforce those concepts, and we
Mhm.
want to give the kids another hands-on opportunity. And we also go into the schools. We've done the STEM club at Kitty Hawk Elementary. They've been very gracious having us come and do some of their after-school stuff. We're more than happy to go in. We have we have tons of science lessons and engineering lessons, so we can go into schools. We're happy to design and help work with the homeschooling population. I know that a lot of you guys come in on Wednesday mornings to work social skills, and you guys, there's a homeschool group that comes in and does literacy.
That's great. I'll definitely have to pass that along.
So, and on Mondays we do a music and movement. Angel Dobler comes in and does that, so it's getting them involved in stories and music. And on Fridays at 11, we do an art and literacy for our youngest ones.
Wow, nice. Nice.
So there's a lot going on that people don't know about.
Right, and just to be clear, like during all these things, people, like you encourage the parents to stay. It's not like a drop and set kind of.
Right, we don't have the insurance to pay.
Right.
Because that's very, very expensive. So we're not like a daycare. We don't have a drop and go or an early childhood program.
Right.
Because the insurance is very different for that. And again, our philosophy is we want parents to understand that they are their child's first and most important educator.
Exactly, yeah.
And they can't be that most important influence if they're not there.
Exactly.
So, and what we teach, by having these teachers, and all of these classes are free.
Nice.
We don't charge additional for these. It's covered in your admission or in your membership. And on Sundays, it's just all free anyway. And we do those classes on Sundays as well at 2 o'clock. So, if you're not there,
right,
you can't learn the concepts that
Exactly.
we're teaching and do them again at home. So that's why it's so important. There are other facilities out there for drop and go. And so that's not really our mission. So
Right.
that's why we don't do it.
Exactly.
Now, we would love in the future to be able to do some workshops or all-day camps and stuff for the kids, but we're just not at that point yet.
Right, right. Well, I know you did just receive your grant money. What do you have planned? Do you have big plans for changes or?
Well, we do have some big plans. Right now, we're just out of space. We're out of
Right.
physical space. We're really hoping that in the next couple of years we can grow to bigger space so we can do bigger things. We'd love to have an art studio for the kids. We'd love to have a science lab. A lab with running water, in
Right,
the sinks,
right.
and where they can really get into some chemistry. We'd love to have an outdoor learning lab where they can actually have, tree trunks that they can build with, and real sticks and rocks and water features and
Right.
a garden
Yeah.
that we can have like an end of the year feast.
Yeah, that would be great.
A kids community garden would be amazing.
Yeah.
So there are all these big plans, and from what we're gathering from the community, a need.
Right.
A need for the kids to be able to learn hands-on like that.
That's true.
So we're hoping that some amazing, marvelous person or company is going to say, we have this space, and we know the
Yeah.
kids need this, and here you
Right,
go. We want to
right.
help you with this. So call us. If you have the space or the money, call us, because we will be more than happy to take that. But back to the other things, it's a need, and it's a serious need. And,
Right.
we know the next astronaut, president, company head, the person that may find the cure for cancer may be right here.
Right, you never know.
It may be one of the children
It
that
could
comes
be.
through our doors. And seriously, Kitty Hawk Kites founded here. There are so many companies
Oh yeah,
that
there's
were founded
tons.
here. There's
There's
so
tons.
legislators. Just look at our history here. We need to have the things in place
Right.
to encourage these kids, to let them know there's nothing that you can't do, and to have the science and engineering and technology available for them to learn and grow and explore and imagine. And we have a community that's willing to help us. Now we just need the space and the building
Right.
and the investors to help us reach our potential, so we can help encourage the families and the children so they can reach their potential.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds great, because you're just so right. There's not a lot for, especially like little kids to do, and they're so active at that age. You're just, you're just like, we gotta get them out somewhere. They're tearing up the house, just climbing the walls, and there's so many, like, it's a safe play, and yeah, we loved it there. And like I said, my son, who's almost 8, like, he's definitely not outgrown it. He's like, that's like my favorite place. So.
Well, it's a good place we have middle school kids that come in and volunteer
Yeah.
on the Sundays. I mean, the PNC grant, also there's a middle school and a high school group that each are receiving $500 in exchange for volunteering on Sundays. So it's a very multi-level facility where young people can also come in and volunteer. And I ended up hiring 3 of the high school volunteers to work this summer.
Oh, wow.
And that in turn can lead to them getting letters of recommendation for college.
Yep, definitely.
For volunteering, for working,
Yep.
to get trained. I mean, it's really very multifaceted.
Oh, yeah.
And can really be very helpful for them. But we have the movies coming up this summer. Now we're looking at the art fair we sponsor. And we want the kids, the artwork they make, to be able to be sold at the art fair that we do. So we do the Windmill Point Art Fair. That's coming up. It's the 3rd Thursday of every month this summer.
Nice.
So that's going to be at the Nags Head event site. We just signed the contract for all of that. Movies on the Sound. Every Friday this summer.
Yep.
Completely free. We show a different movie every Friday. Kitty Hawk Kites is involved this year. Surf Pediatrics is involved this year, so you might get some Zumba on before. We have the Pirate Festival.
Yeah.
So that'll be going on. We may have skydivers, diving in. So
Cool.
we just have some really neat things coming on this year. So now that we're recovered from the flood finally,
Right.
we've got the new exhibits in, we're just ready to rock and roll this year.
Right, I hear you.
We really are. But yeah, spaces are probably our biggest issue right now. But the community has just done wonderful, amazing things. And we just want to give back as much as we can.
That's great. That's totally awesome. And I'm sure that somebody will give you the space, that you need. It'll all work out the way it's supposed to be.
I am so glad I live here. It's the most amazing community I have ever. I feel like I'm finally home. I got to move here in June, and I have always vacationed here and loved it. And my husband and I were just blown away by the kindness and generosity, just as visitors. And being able to move here and being able to work at the Children's Museum, just every day, I just stand back and watch the people, and I watch the kids, and I am just so grateful. So yeah, I have every confidence that great things are going to happen for the museum and for the kids, and completely dedicated to doing everything I can for this community and for the children and the families to make sure that we provide for these families and these kids what they need. And, going through the winter here, the people out here are tough. I mean, there's some tough stuff, and there's some things we need to provide for the kids and families.
Yeah, it is. It's very tough out here in the winter. Just no income,
Yeah.
And the kids is freezing out, and there's just nowhere to go and nothing to do, so.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's tough for us to stay open. I mean, we scrape the bottom of the barrel to stay open.
Right.
But completely committed to it.
Good.
Completely committed, and we've been pretty busy this winter. I mean, people have really taken advantage of it. And the winters are getting horrid out here.
Yeah.
We gotta have a place for the kids to go.
Exactly.
And they can't get outside, not when it's raining ice balls and stuff.
Right, yeah.
I moved from the Midwest to get away from this stuff. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I moved from New York, but, it's just, and especially lately, there's like a couple flakes, and everyone down here schools are closed, and
a hurricane.
everything's closed.
Everybody's out there playing in it. Look at the ice.
Yep. So, I know, like, you're probably super busy working probably almost every day at the Children's Museum, but if you do get a random day off on the Outer Banks, what's your favorite way to spend it?
I can absolutely tell you that. My husband and I have gotten into sea glassing.
Oh, cool.
Love to look for sea glass. He is much better at it than I am. I blame it on my eyes. I have the glasses that automatically go dark in the sun, and I've got to find a great eye doctor out here and get some that don't do that. So I'm blaming it on that because he can find the greens and the blues and I can't. But we have found some neat, like 1940.
Wow.
And we know they're 1940 bottles because, like, you can sometimes find them with writing on it.
Right.
So we've done the research, and there was like a Duraglass piece. But last weekend he found, and I kid you not, this like perfect piece of Pepsi Cola bottle. And it actually says Pepsi Cola on it, and it has the crisscrosses all over the glass. We were able to look up a picture online, and it's a 1944 Pepsi bottle.
Wow, that's awesome.
But he finds the best pieces, but it's like meditation for me.
Yeah,
Because you just get
love
into this like 2 foot by 2 foot square right in front of you, and you hear the ocean behind you, and the waves, and it's just quiet. Yeah. And so I have found that I should have been born here, because my favorite time on the beach is this winter, spring time when there's not many people out there, and it's beautiful, and you find tons of sea glass, shells.
As soon as we cut, I'm gonna be like, "Where are you looking?"
Yeah, I'm not telling it on here. Not happening. But that we can spend hours.
Yeah,
and we love it
for that. Yep.
We love it. We get to the beach as much as we can, and I really have no desire to go on vacation, because even though working and all this stuff, every day is like a vacation out here. I absolutely love the community. I absolutely love the view. I absolutely love the people. I couldn't be happier living here. I could not be happier in this community.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's a vacation every day.
Awesome.
Except for right before the gala. The week before the gala I was a little tired, but other than that it was a great success. So, but it kept me away from the beach. So.
Yeah. Well, you gotta spend a little time.
I know.
Working sometimes.
I know. But they say if you love what you do, you never spend a day working. And I truly love what I do.
Good. That's great.
Do.
That's awesome.
I mean, you get hugs every day.
Yeah.
It's Carole Dawn, and you get a hug. It doesn't get any better.
Little people, big people, parents, like, thank you for keeping my kid occupied.
Now, you know what? I just see amazing things every day.
Good.
I cannot tell you how special this place is.
Wow, that's awesome.
And the people. It's just, every once in a while you stumble across something in your life that it's just right.
Right.
The Children at Play Museum is just right.
Good.
It's a special thing in a special community. And there's tremendously special things in its future.
Great. Well, we can't wait to see what you guys do.
Me too.
Yeah, we're definitely excited, and just thank you so much for taking time out today.
Well, thanks for having us.
I guess Saturday's probably your only day off, right?
There are no days off.
Right.
But it's okay. I mean, it's okay. We love it. I mean, my husband's always building something for it, or...
Nice.
I'm like, hey, you got Monday off, right? You got a doctor's appointment? Let's do it before that, because I got some things that need to be moved around. So, it's like a family business. My son came down, and my daughter came down for the gala and stuff, so it's
cool.
It's
very
great.
Nice.
We got a great board of directors. We've got great supporters and stuff. So I love it. So I just invite everybody to come down and check out the museum if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. And what's the website so everybody knows?
www.childrenatplayobx.com.
Gotcha. Great. Well, thanks so much for being here. And I'm sure we'll be by soon.
Great. Come and see us. Bring the cameras. We'll give you a little tour.
Nice.
See everything. We're getting ready to start planting stuff on our deck. So
awesome. Sounds great.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. I'm Sue Artz with OBX Entertainment.com and OBXE TV, and we'll see you next time.